Dads, listen up. If your son can't speak for himself, if he freezes at the moment when he gets criticism, he is setting himself up to fail. Not because he's weak, but because he's unprepared for life. And that's okay. Today, I will show you exactly what to do about this. Two lessons. Now, you might ask what qualifies me to speak about such things, and well, my stepson and I went through a very traumatic experience quite recently, in fact. And what went down between me, him, and his grandmother, my wife's mother, well, is kind of the reason I started this channel. Because when that psychopath demanded with injunctions that my stepson, her grandson, spend time with her so she could abuse him, so she could continue to abuse him, well, then you might just say that he had to develop his criticism muscles rather fast. Now, it wasn't the case, of course. In the end, his grandmother's psychotic character unraveled itself in front of the judge, so my stepson was freed from these obligatory visits because he really didn't want to spend time with his grandmother, the woman whom, before him, had also abused his mother. He just told me he didn't want to go into that building with her, and he wanted me to teach him to say no to a very insidious and crafty person with more than half of a century of manipulations behind her. And he pulled through. What I did was not teach him to say no to her. What I did was teach him to critically think about what he was listening to each time she tried to manipulate him to go inside the building with her. But enough about us. This is about your boy. Here's the problem. The world doesn't care or waits for boys to feel comfortable. In fact, speaking up and receiving feedback are two of the most important skills your boy will ever develop in his life. Miss them, and doors will close before he even knocks. Speaking up isn't about being loud. It's about expressing your ideas. It's about asking questions and defending yourself respectfully. Boys who don't speak up often are neglected in school and in life in general. Your son might face problems in his work environment, even in his friendships. My advice: start small. Encourage him at home to voice his opinions. Dinner table debates, asking his opinion on family decisions. Praise effort, not results. Side note: never make clear to your son with words that his family environment is a safe space. That should be a given. In fact, don't ever teach him the words safe space. There are no safe spaces in this world, and your son should not actively look for them. What you should teach your boy is to be so vigilant as he will never need a safe space. Now, here's the tricky part. When you speak up, you become visible. In fact, you become quite visible very, very fast. Visibility attracts criticism. And boys don't take criticism kindly. They might respond aggressively or they might shut down completely. You don't want either for your boy, trust me. Teach him to pause, listen, and ask questions instead of just reacting. And here's the final golden rule. Speaking up and receiving criticism gracefully are two things that go hand in hand. A boy who learns both becomes unstoppable. He will be seen as confident, capable, and ready for challenges, all because he can voice his words and receive feedback to learn from. So Dad, your son isn't weak. He's just unprepared. Teach him to speak up and teach him how to handle the stress of criticism, because he will be receiving it for the rest of his life. And as I always say, never make the mistake that you're raising a boy. You're raising a man. Well, that's all for now.